Less than 48 hours after his most recent campaign rally in Duluth, Minnesota, the president moved to Walter Reed Medical Center tonight for treatment and monitoring, as the New York Times is taking heat tonight for openly wondering if he should remain on the ballot November 3rd if he gets sick.
What a ridiculous assertion by the New York Times. That may be the hope and the wish of the New York Times, but President Trump is the president of the United States. He's on the ballot. He's hard at work. And look, if you look at the jobs report just today, those remarkable numbers, getting below 8% unemployment, no one thought that was possible. It's a testament to what this president has done. He's put his head down. He's worked. He's continuing to do that, and he will all the way through November.
Let's discuss the politics of the president's diagnosis with Democratic strategist Kevin Walling and former deputy assistant to President George W. Bush, Brad Blakeman. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Hey, Shannon, good evening.
Okay, we have seen reaction across the spectrum, as Rick just laid out for us there. But one of the political conversations that we're continuing to hear pipe up tonight is about the confirmation hearings in the process for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tweeting this: "We now have 2 members of the Senate Judiciary Committee who have tested positive for COVID, and there may be more. I wish my colleagues well. It is irresponsible and dangerous to move forward with the hearing, and there's absolutely no good reason to do it." Brad.
It's dangerous to disregard the Constitution, to postpone what the Constitution demands us to continue to do, regardless of circumstance. The Constitution is a document by which we live by at times of war, times of peace, and times of trying times like we're in today. And if anything, we should hold true to the Constitution. The president nominated, and now it's up to the Senate to confirm. And a vote should be taken, whether or not that be by proxy or some other absentee method is up to the Senate. But certainly hearings can be had, questioning can be had virtually through telecommunication. It doesn't have to be in person. And the voting necessarily doesn't have to be in person if the medical people decide that the best option would be a virtual voting. But then again, it's up to the Senate. But to postpone it, to disregard the Constitution, no way.
All right, and forgive me, we're getting in a little breaking news, so I want to make sure we hit on that. The president has tweeted, "Going well, I think. Thank you to all. Love," all caps with a lot of exclamation points. So he sounds like himself in that tweet. We're also getting some information on a post from Kayleigh McEnany, press secretary over at the White House, also posting a letter from the doctor for the president. And he says, let me read you here, says he is doing well. The president happy to report the president is doing very well, not requiring any supplemental oxygen, but in consultation with specialists, we have elected to initiate remdesivir therapy. He's completed his first dose and is resting comfortably. So, Kevin, good news, it sounds like, on that front tonight. But let's get back to this issue about Judge Barrett and whether or not she can be confirmed. Mike Davis, who's with the conservative group A3P that is pushing for her confirmation, says to Senator Schumer's suggestion they can't proceed. He says, "Nonsense. Since 5/1/2020, Senate Judiciary has proven that it can safely hold hearings on following COVID guidelines. They've had 6 nomination hearings, 22 judicial nominees, 2 in person, 20 via Zoom. All 6 use Zoom." He says 16 legislation and oversight hearings. Essentially, there's no reason that you can't move forward. Kevin.
Yeah, Shannon, well, it is excellent news to hear the president doing well. It was remarkable not to really see him tweeting today. That's been a fixture of this president and his administration, so it's excellent to see that he's in good spirits and hopefully on the mend at Walter Reed. To Brad's point, I think the Senate can go about its business. Of course, Democrats are advocating for safety protocols in place for these hearings to take place. We've seen, as we've talked about, Shannon, recent polling that shows that the vast majority of Americans want the next president, whether it be President Trump or Vice President Biden, to make that nomination. It will be anyone's guess. I do think that those hearings will go forward on the 12th. It's any indication that Mitch McConnell wants them to happen, that Chairman Lindsey Graham wants them to happen, and that's likely to take place. I think the question does become, what happens if some of these senators are not able to vote in committee in person or on the floor for that nomination to move forward? Because Senate rules suggest that that senator has to be present on a nomination like this. So I do think it will be anyone's guess later on if this is still a situation where we're seeing members of the Senate isolating, falling ill with COVID-19, and what that effect will be on this vote moving forward.
Yeah, my understanding is that, as you said, they wouldn't have to be there for the hearings, but if they try to vote the Barrett nomination out either on the 15th or the 22nd, they would be hoping those senators are back so they don't have this issue of worrying about how they vote in person or not. I want to read something from the Washington Post. Margaret Sullivan about this, saying that the White House, the headline says, can't be trusted to be truthful about what's going on with the president. She says reporters should be pressing for documentation, specific timelines, and statements from credible medical experts. If White House officials want to be believed about the president's, quote, minor symptoms, for example, they need to, quote, overload the system with truth. Former Clinton press secretary Joe Lockhart told me. Brad, we're continuing to get updates right now, but what do you make of that advice for as much transparency as possible?
Of course, transparency is important, especially at these times when we face a national election. And I can assure you the White House and this White House is going to be as transparent as necessary in order to inform the American people on the health of our president. That's going to happen. It's going to happen with credible sources and doctors, both in the White House and at the medical center where the president is being treated as we speak. So I have no problem with the information that's been coming out of the White House and that I expect will continue to come out of the White House.
Okay, our political panel, Kevin and Brad, stick around. We've got extended coverage until 2 a.m. live. We know you're going to be with us, so we'll get back to you shortly. Okay, coming up, demanding accountability from Governor Cuomo when it comes to all those nursing home deaths. Someone who has experienced this personally, you know her. She's next.